If you recall from the quadratics unit, we showed you a substitution method that you could use to factor more complex quadratic equations. And this is where we used a u to represent any expression that was repeating somewhere within the expression or the equation. And so this is the same thing here that we're doing. We're using a u in place of a more complex expression. You can see in example number 4 we just simply replaced a w squared just to make this a simple quadratic and make the factoring much easier. The one thing that you want to be sure to remember is to always go back and replace the u with the original expression, and always look for further factoring in problems like this. Let's take a quick look at sample problem number 4. If you go ahead and take a look at that and then come back and watch the solution. So we can see here that u in this case is going to replace the expression x squared minus 3. And when doing that, we get a much easier quadratic expression to factor. Now, if you wanted to go to the trouble of foiling out all of that, combining like terms, and then trying to group this, you're more than welcome to do that. But I think this is a much more straightforward method. So we can factor this into u plus 3 and u plus 4. And now we can come back and we can replace the u. And then finally we just need to consolidate the terms. And so negative 3 and positive 3 actually cancel each other out. And then we have just a plus 1. And so that's fully factored at that point. The next problem goes back to a factoring skill that you learned in quadratics as well, as called grouping. And you can see we have a cubic here, but it's not a trinomial and it's not a binomial. So we have to go another route. So anytime you see a 4-term polynomial, probably the first thing that should come to mind is a grouping method. So I'm just going to start right from the beginning, grouping those off. And you can see that the x plus 1 term is common between this first term and this second term. So I'm going to factor out an x plus 1. And in the process, x squared plus 3 is going to be remaining. Again, x squared plus 3 cannot be factored, but always be on the lookout for if that could be factored. Okay, so now you've seen us take from the quadratics unit some more factoring skills and applying them here.